Oh, Mr. Gabe, that was quick.
Mr. President, how are you?
All right, nice to see you. How's
Nice
the family
being
doing?
seen.
How's Chris?
All right. Good. Everybody's great. And yourself?
Yeah, about the same. About the same. Just getting ready for some holidays. Just really looking forward to the break. You got to be one of the busiest attorneys that I know of right now, Alan. I don't know how you're doing what you're doing, but it's got to be good on the pocketbook, man.
It's you're right on both. I don't know how I'm doing it either, and it's okay on the pocketbook.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, some of these are divorce cases, and they don't
Yeah,
always pay.
shit. Really?
By the way, I will be doing Thunder Frolic today.
I figured that was going to be the case and that we would talk about it right now. So, hey, Terry Park.
I guess Terry doesn't want to talk to you.
I guess
So I
not,
have to give you credit for being a loyal Bears fan.
Golly. I knew I was going to get stuff for this today.
Oh no,
It's tough,
you're.
man.
Oh, look who's here.
Sam,
The newlywed.
congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, Sam.
Her name's Sadie. Sadie, married lady.
Well, we're happy for you.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll connect in just a second. Yeah.
There we are.
Oh, hey, Terry, look at that. It's very Christmassy over at the park house. You look like you just
Yeah.
chopped a
Can't
tree
hear
down.
anything.
Oh, there you go. I can see you, Sam.
Hi,
Sam.
newlywed.
I thought you'd be wearing your wedding gown.
I can't hear anything.
Turn up your volume on your computer.
Hmm.
Hey, Mike Erickson. Hey, Julie, thank you for my rat cards. They look great.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Cool. We're doing like a big gift bag giveaway thing to a bunch of our clients and a bunch of our vendors and people like that. And we got made these pizza cutters. I don't know if you could tell what this thing is, but it's like the best pizza cutter on God's green earth, and it's got our logo on it. So we're putting these along with that rack card in a big gift bag that the Lakeview Chamber is helping us distribute to a whole bunch of people. So that's going to be nice and fun. And I appreciate your help.
People in Lakeview?
Oh, yeah.
Like my
Cubs,
daughter?
right. The Cubs are also a member of the Lakeview Chamber, as a matter of fact. So I share a chamber with the Cubs.
And so Emily will look forward to getting that.
No. No, unless I see Emily on the street, and then I'm definitely giving her one of those pizza cutters. And I have run into her.
Okay, if she is a neighbor.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, Alan, I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. I'm glad I could help. Hey, Michael Erickson. Oh, don't go away. I had a question for you.
Yes.
What do you think about them getting rid of Schwarber?
LNS. Do something. He's just one that's, you think one day he's going to just put it all together. But can't wait forever.
Well, you didn't answer my question. So how do you feel about it?
Indifferent. I'm not upset. I think they have to make some moves. They have to change things. It's not working.
Yeah, you guys are all spoiled now. You waited 105 years and now you're spoiled.
So Michelangelo Caruso sent out an email, said that the Detroit Lions approached him to be general manager. And he replied back to me, he says, I don't know anything about football. And they replied back to him, it doesn't matter.
You are absolutely correct. One playoff win in 52 years. I mean, talk about brutality.
Bears will be looking for him next.
Just to let all you guys know, some people knew from the call yesterday. I tested positive for COVID this week.
Who
Oh,
did?
no.
So
Who did?
I did.
You all right?
Sorry, Michael.
It's like a bad cold and a nasty headache. So I'll be home for a week or so, just working from home.
Sorry to hear it, Michael.
It is what it is, so we'll just have to deal with it.
Yep.
How's Cheryl? Is Cheryl okay?
So far, Cheryl's doing just fine. That's our concern.
Yeah.
Yeah, why? That's because no one cares about you. They only care about Cheryl. Is that what you're saying, Mike?
Well, they know who the better half is. They know who runs the business over here.
Hey, Johnny, how you doing, buddy? You're muted.
There you go. I'm doing well.
There.
Looking good, Terry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody is.
Hey, John, I did get your message just now in your email about the veterans meals going out. Can you ask that in front of the group? Because I don't know that I have the answer for you.
Okay.
And maybe someone here will.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, I read that I think in the paper. So I didn't know if we're going to help with that at all.
So, Mary Jo, what are you doing now that you left Gigi's?
I am working with my daughter, e-learning every day, and it is so much fun. Not.
Mary Jo.
Sam, I could really make a response to what you did, but it would be inappropriate for the Rotary meeting.
Unbelievable, Alan.
Mary Jo, you just stated something about.
Can't hear you, Sam. You're muted. You're muted.
I just said I was e-learning with my daughter every day. So
Oh, no, we heard
get
you,
up
Mary
and
Jo.
we get on the computer at 7:30 in the morning. And it's just so much fun to sit beside her as she tells me I don't know what I'm doing.
That's what her job is.
It is.
It's just a little earlier. That's all.
But the key is, she right?
I don't know. I'm going back. I'm relearning science and social studies. And yeah, I can tell you all about the cells and the animal cells and the plant cells.
Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. That's what you need to
Yes.
know.
And then the mighty is the muscle and the nuke is the brain.
So, Debbie, are you working from home now?
I am. Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, cool. I am. I'm 100% here. I have to go empty out my office next week. 17 years worth of stuff.
Oh my God. Permanently?
Yeah, they're consolidating the footprint to like one floor in Lisle.
How does that strike you? How does that make you feel?
There's a part of it that works. I have to relocate my office probably. I'm in the dining room right now, so I've kind of taken over, and I'm very annoying to, like, Max is home from college, so he's quite annoyed. But I guess we have a downtown office on Wacker, right across from the train station, so we can go there and have some hoteling space once in a while. I don't know. It'll be a new normal once we all go back to the non-distanced workplace.
Mm-hmm.
Just means you're important.
Yep. We build offices and desks and stuff, so let me know.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. My wife Caitlin is the one who designs those for us. She's tremendous.
Really? Yeah, they're talking about stipends, right? Now that we're moving remotely, like people have to set themselves up. So let's see what happens for sure.
You wouldn't be the first client of ours to use such a stipend for a nice little space. So
Right. Cool.
It's
Good
pretty
to
fun.
know, Wes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at all the pictures, and Bob Fleischer looks so serious.
I know. He does.
But he's dressed better than all of us.
Alan, where's the shirt?
I love this shirt.
Honor of our past district governor, Julie Clark.
Yeah, see, I got Rotary shirt, Rotary album.
You
I
added
have
that-
blue shirts.
Hey, so Jack, is it true that Michigan intended to have coronavirus so they wouldn't have to play Ohio State set tomorrow?
I think that was a good excuse. I think they wanted to play them.
I don't blame them. I mean, I don't want them to get rid of Jim Harbaugh. I just want you to know.
He's gonna play in the Big Ten championship game against Northwestern.
Yep.
Ohio State.
Oh, did they change that? That they didn't have 6 games?
See, I think Michigan thought that if they don't play, then Ohio State wouldn't be eligible.
But they revised their thinking.
Right.
That makes sense, because if they played and lost to anyone, they still would have been in because they beat Indiana heads up. So it doesn't.
The main reason was that 5-letter word, money. Because if the Ohio State's in the Final Four, each Big Ten school gets about $1 million or something like that.
That'd be good.
How much of that do the players get, Alan?
They get about as much as the number of virgins you'll find on Rush Street on Friday night.
Hi, Debbie.
That's a new measure for me.
Deb.
They get a free education. Free.
Oh yeah.
It will not have any kind of effect on their bodies when they're 50 trying to bend over or kneel or anything, I'm sure. So,
or to the 95% of them who never make it out to the pros and end up with blown out knees already, right? Yeah.
Actually, it's probably more like 97.
I bet.
98.
Yeah.
But not the big boy. My boy's going no matter what.
And he's smart anyway. He didn't, yeah.
Well, let's just hope he doesn't get drafted by the Jets, the Lions, or the
Yes.
Oh, and then John puts on his Packers hat. Unbelievable. I feel challenged.
Good.
And we are challenged this year.
How's that one?
Oh, I like that one better.
Very nice.
Yeah, let's go over and drive by John's house and
Anytime you want, buddy. Door's always open.
Len sure got it.
Just thought it was
Thanksgiving, buddy.
Well, Eddie, you see, we have another bad boy finally joined the meeting, John Selke.
there he is.
He's one of the originals.
No, Ed Haig is one of the originals. Long before me.
Hello. Hi, Sarah Billmeyer.
Oh, Daryl Moon, he was an original. Very Christian
Redmond.
original.
Hey, Steve.
Very original bad boy.
Yep. Hi, Nancy.
Hi. Hey, good to see you, Terry. Are you in Florida?
Vince, were you original bad boy?
We're back.
No, Vince was never a bad boy.
Got in last night.
Oh, good.
correct.
Good to see you all. Man, where are the smiles today? Everybody looks serious.
Well, we don't have a vaccine yet. We're not smiling.
Coming.
It's coming, but when?
If you got stock in either Moderna or Pfizer, I think you're doing just as well right now anyway. My goodness. Rocket ships. I'm inoculated by all that money.
Well, the money can't buy you freedom at this point. I just want freedom. I want to be able to do the things we used to be able to do.
Yeah, I'm ready to see a concert. That's a fact.
I'm ready to come to a live.
Mike Olak is ready to see a concert. Mike isn't here, is he? Darn it. Yeah, I don't know anyone who loves concerts more than Mike Olak.
That's a fact.
Yeah. All right.
So where's Mr. Erickson? He's the boss.
Together.
So what's up, Pat?
Hello.
Pat, did you enjoy your birthday?
I did.
Pat, did you enjoy your birthday?
Oh, the same connection.
Yeah. Internet, I see you got the apron on. What you baking?
I just finished the little
muted.
peanut butter
there you go.
balls with
Nice.
the chocolate in them.
Oh.
And this afternoon it's ginger snaps and 7-layer bars to send to my son in Phoenix.
Oh man.
So you may be able to tell that with the evergreen paint and the white and the red stuff that we kind of live Christmas all year long at our house.
Well, that's awesome.
We're a little kooky, but we love it.
A little.
And words, you making cookies because you're kooky?
Oh, that's no play on words. That's just fact.
Hello, everybody. This is Jean.
Jean?
Is
Oh,
Terry
Arlene.
Park on the line? Who?
Thanks.
Terry Park.
Yes, I am.
What happened to his son-in-law? Anybody know?
Yes, he passed away.
So sorry.
Yes.
So Wes, I think it's 12:15. You should start the meeting.
Yeah, I think I should. Thank you, Alan. I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone right now. And since it is 12:15, thank you, Alan, for the time update. I am going to call this meeting to order. Found a bottle of booze with a sweater on it today. How nice is that, huh? I think we have a fantastic meeting today, it being Friday, December 11th, 2020, the 23rd meeting of our year. And you know what? We are one meeting away from being halfway through this thing. I can't even believe it. This is going by so fast. I think we got a great meeting today. We have Sharon Sultan Cutler going to talk to us about American Bandstand Diaries. We got the Queen of Hearts like we've been doing the last couple of weeks. And I think we're going to start the way that we typically do with the Pledge of Allegiance. Give me just one moment to get this up here. And I'm going to ask Gary Anderson, could you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance in about 5 seconds when I get this up on the screen? I ask you to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I did.
And one moment. Please proceed.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with
liberty, justice for some of the people who live here.
Excellent. And Alan Gay, I hear you are already unmuted, and if you wouldn't mind, sir, could you please lead us in the full way packed things that we think, say, and do?
It would be my distinct honor, Your Royal Majesty. First, I have the courage to tell the whole truth. I'll be kind in the way I tell it. I'll be fair, not seek selfish advantage. I will have an open heart and an open mind.
Thank you very much. And Jack Lucas, would you mind if you could please unmute yourself and lead us in an invocation, please?
Dear God, we give thanks for this day, and we give a blessing for all those who are attending today, the guests and the members. And we ask a blessing on Rotarians here and around the world and the projects that they're involved with. Bless this meeting to your use. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that. I'm looking because this is where we would typically introduce guests that we have with us, and I'm perusing. If anyone sees a guest, can you let me know? But I see none. All faithful attending members of the
Well, excuse me, Mr. President, we kind of have a guest.
Sir?
She hasn't been around because she went out and got married. Samantha's here.
I knew you were going to do this to me, Alan.
As a blushing bride.
Congratulations, Sam.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that's really good news, and here is where we'll typically talk about the good news of the week. And I got a couple of good ones, kind of returning to the roots, I guess. This was a great story I saw this week with the Chicago Twist. Hundreds of volunteers come together to help the organization My Block, My Hood, My City decorate homes on Martin Luther King Boulevard on the south side. One of the comments was, we look down King Drive now and we see a lot of helicopter lights and police lights, and someone says they wanted to have there be Christmas lights. So about 200 volunteers took on and did 200 homes down Martin Luther King Drive. And the city says that not only are they providing all of that stuff, the decorations to them for free through My Block, My Hood, My City, but they're also giving stipends to the homes who choose to be decorated for their electrical bill. I thought that was pretty cool. So they can light up the city without having to worry about footing the bill for it. Second, how could we say anything else? Obviously, it's wonderful. The first COVID vaccine was jabbed into an arm of a patient this week, so it's wonderful to see that out. And we probably all saw this picture of the first lady who got the vaccine, Margaret Keenan. She's 90 years old, and she was a very enthusiastic participant, but I thought really cool that the second guy in line for it happened to be named William Shakespeare, in a very poetic turn. The second guy was. And the last good news story of the week, I thought this was pretty cool. How many of you guys have ever been in line at Starbucks before, and somebody in line in front of you paid for your meal or your drink, and then you say, okay, I'm going to pay for the next person in line? It's happened to a lot of us, right? This one at a Dairy Queen had 900 cars in a row pay for the next car. I gotta wonder how many days in a row that must have been. But up in Brainerd, Minnesota, Dairy Queen has got some really nice people. 900 people in a row paid for one another. So I thought that was pretty cool and some good news to share with everyone this week. And I hope that puts you in a good mood. And looking to see if anyone wants to give any happy dollars for some good things that happened this week. Is there anybody happy out there? Let's see. Let's go Nanette. We'll go Eileen and then Sam. Go ahead, Nanette.
Well, I wanted to comment on that last because being a girl from Minnesota, that's Minnesota. That's just being Minnesota. But I'm very happy because yesterday was my husband's birthday. Next week is our anniversary, and the week after that is Christmas. We really do love this time of year, so I'll give 20 happy dollars.
Yeah, love it. I love it. My family's is too, all about the Christmas all year long. Go ahead, Eileen.
I have 5 happy dollars. A big, huge thank you to Mike Erickson, Nancy Redman, and Jim Fabrini, who yesterday participated in the interviews for our first time ever December fishing well student group from the extra money that we put in this year. So thank you, folks. I know you get as much out of it as you give when you do those interviews. Thank you.
It's tremendous. Nice job, guys. And it's really wonderful to see us doing extra work with that money right now.
14 this
14.
year in January, added to our existing 14.
Way to go, Rotarians.
That's true.
Sam DiMaria, it's wonderful to see you. We'll go Jack Lucas next.
My name's still Maria too, may I note that. But 20 happy dollars because number one, a couple of reasons. Number one, I'm here back with all of you guys. I haven't seen you in a long time and it feels really good to be back. See all of your faces. So that's one reason. Number two is because despite all the craziness, I had a gorgeous wedding. It was just perfect and beautiful. And one of those reasons is because Jim Fabrini's company just blew it out of the water with what he did. It was whimsical and just beautiful. I mean, despite people canceling the day of and things like that, there was nothing that could have ruined it. So 20 happy bucks.
Congratulations. That's wonderful. Hey, Jack Lucas.
My 5 happy dollars for the joy of working with the barn crew. As you know, before the pandemic, we would finance one Saturday a month, and the seniors would come for 2, and we'd have games and snacks, and we'd serve a lunch, and they have bingo at the end. With the pandemic, that ended, but we've started to twice a month now. We serve meals at the curbside, and this last Saturday, it was it was very complicated because when they serve Chinese, there's a long assembly line to get all the stuff together. It takes quite a few people. And but then we had a lot of extra things to hand out. But we had 138 people. That's the most I can remember. Oh, that's really going well. So that's my happy dollars.
Nice, Jack. That's awesome. That's a cool story. I've enjoyed our happy dollars so much in the past couple weeks. I don't know what it is, guys. Everyone's doing good things right now. It's wonderful. Who else is happy out there? Looking to see anyone else waving at me frantically? Anyone else? I see Bill, Kelly, Holly, and then Terry.
Well, I have 3 happy dollars. I attended the Barrington Breakfast Club's meeting yesterday and heard a great presentation of update on our after-school project from Du, Taiwan. And during the presentation, Eric Lin from the Barrick and Eric Han were both in Taiwan, and we experienced a very mild earthquake in Taiwan, and nothing serious, but so I experienced my first earthquake. So there you go. Wow. I'll be in cyberspace. So thank you. Wow.
That's really interesting, Bill. And Bill, I'm going to ask you to talk about what we talked about, the COVID thing, about the Barrington breakfast later, if that's all right with you. Holly, go ahead.
I've got 5 happy dollars because I have a good friend from Iowa from my Y Camp world is coming to visit me today. And she is she's a politician. She's a county supervisor in like Iowa City. And so she meets and rubs elbows with all the candidates every election cycle. She is like one of the coolest people I know. And she's coming to, today's her birthday, and she's traveling to see me. So I'm excited.
Nice. Have fun. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terry and Joanne. Hey, well, oh, wait, you're still muted. Wait. Go ahead and unmute yourself. There we go.
I just want to say that Joanne decided to join us today. She wants to, as a little girl, she used to go and listen to American Bandstand and Bandstand. So she's decided that she wants to listen to the program.
Yeah, so after school, I would run home every day to watch American Bandstand. Yep.
Nice. So then, great job to Bob Fleischer, who again is knocking it out of the park with some great speakers for us. So
you do Bob. Good, Bobby.
Thank you.
That's wonderful.
My pleasure. Joanne, I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
All right, and just so everyone knows, this meeting, just like all meetings, is being recorded. Not everyone's face right now, only the person who is individually speaking, in case you didn't know that part. And you can see all of those that Tom and I put up every single week if you wanted to share this with someone, because I think this is going to be a really cool speaker today, and has been in the past, the last couple of times we've had authors. So if you wanted to see it again, you can share it with all your friends and tell them how cool our meetings are. Looking to see anyone else happy out there, and I don't see anyone else. So let's go ahead and move on to club business and announcements. Is there any club business that anyone has? Eileen Higginbotham, go ahead.
I do. We need some volunteers, Rotarians that are comfortable. It's a hands-on opportunity. The 20th, we are doing our veterans dinner with the Trickster Cultural Center. It's going to be a little different this year in that meals are being picked up at Chandler's. They will all be individually packaged, and we need 4 to 5 Rotarians who would be our people doing just basically what they've been doing at the barn, although these meals are totally packaged. Just take the food from the lobby under the porte-cochere and put it in somebody's trunk or back seat. It's contactless. Joe from the Trickster, his people are doing the 50 homebound veterans. They're delivering to them, and they will do the crowd control of the cars coming in and registration. And we are just needing 4 or 5 people. If I could have a show of hands, and I will get details to you. Wes, can you see better than me?
Yes, Jack Lucas, John Selke, Mary Jo Shepard, Bob Fleischer, Bill Landwehr,
okay.
All good people. All
Great,
good people.
great.
What's
the date again?
Sorry, Bill and
It's this Sunday. It's only going to be from 11 to 1 o'clock. And we'll have a couple of our banners up there so people know it's from Rotary. And a little side note on this, neither Joe nor I put this in the Daily Herald. We think somebody who pulled the flyer off Joe's website, and word was out to the Daily Herald, through the Daily Herald, free meals for veterans. So we have 215 meals, and Joe already has 200 people signed up. So it's he had it pretty much full before we found out this went in the paper, and I wouldn't have known if Glenn hadn't told me. So Glenn Zergott, thanks for spotting that. It was a surprise. But thank you guys for volunteering. I'll get some details to you. And so those names again, Wes, we're going to be.
I additionally saw Samantha DiMaria and Bill Kelly, Bill Landwehr, John Selke, Jack Lucas, Glenn Shergott, Bob Fleischer. And just remember, you can come back and see this if you didn't get those notes. Get those names.
Okay, Wes.
Hey, Glenn Zergott.
Sure.
Wes.
John Selke.
This is a good time for me to bring this up.
It's from 11 to 1.
Eileen, I was contacted by Marco Dubetic, past post commander of the VFW, and they were very concerned about the number of meals, and everyone who has applied may not be veterans. They think it's general public, and they were wondering if there could be a possibility of contacting the Daily Herald or a retraction statement that this is only for veterans.
Eileen, please unmute yourself. I muted you from background noise.
Thanks, John. Yes, Joe is already doing that. We had that conversation today. And anyone getting a meal had to be registered and a veteran, and Joe is vetting them. And he will be putting a number on each car so that our people know how many meals go to that car. And if someone comes that's not registered, they will not be getting a meal.
Okay.
So they have to be, and it says that on the flyer, and he is already reaching out to the Daily Herald, and he's taking it off, and he's putting on his website that we're fully subscribed.
Okay.
I see Nanette has her hand up.
Eileen,
I'll get that.
Eileen, that's December the 20th, correct?
Correct. Sunday, a week from this Sunday, Sunday the 20th.
Okay.
Nanette.
So, and if someone can't do it, we need 5. We don't really need much more than that. So I will be reaching out to the people that said they would be there. Thank you all very much.
Yeah, Nanette, go ahead.
I was just wondering, I mean, Chandler's is giving us such a good price on this. Are we like giving any like kind of thank you letter or anything to Chandler's for being so generous?
Yeah, we do. Last year we did recognition to them. I think we had Bob come into a meeting and thanked him. And I always do a follow-up letter. They're giving us $7 per person. It does include dessert, which it didn't last year, and new plasticware. And everything will be handled by professional food handlers rather than volunteers, which is great. And their kitchen's on the ground.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I know they do all kinds of credit, but we should thank them. Okay, that's all.
We do. We always do. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
To that end, we have also ensured that the workers, the people who are with us all the time, Jorge, the lead waitress there, the food service staff are all taken care of as they typically are every year, just so everyone's aware. This board is still doing that. Need we say anything else about Nancy? Go ahead.
Okay, hold on.
You're good. I can hear you. Now, unfortunately, you were good before, and now you. There you go.
Can you hear me? You can
Yes.
hear me. Okay. I just want to say tomorrow we are going to deliver the presents to our adopted family, And it's going to be a drive-by at the HEC, which is right up there by Hoffman High School, at 11 o'clock. So anybody who's interested in being in part of this drive-by is welcome to come up there.
Nice.
And I think, I don't see him, but Don Miner, are you there? He's got an update.
His name on here is Schaumburg Rotary. Don is here. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
That's fine. We'll go Tom and then Pat.
Well, I'll have to
we
come
can hear you, but you're really choppy.
Okay, so it's Tom now. Let's see. We had one of the students enter in all of the contact information from the handwritten vacation raffles last year and a little bit from this year. I finally figured out how to get them into Club Runner. So when I entered them, 465 people got emails that said, do you want to be contacted by the Schaumburg Hoffman Rotary Club? So if some of your contacts said, hey, what's going on? That's the reason. They bought raffle tickets last year. And it's in our Club Runner so that we can stay in contact with them, contact them again for upcoming events and anything we have going on. And we are going to start to keep a rolling contact information of visitors and we got great information from people. We need to use it for other things as well. So they can opt out very easily. They can reply to the email and say, get me out of this thing. I'll take care of it. Or you can forward me any type of angry dissertation you got. I got a couple of funny ones with, misspelled names like, so some people said, who is this guy? And it was just a name misspelled. I tried to check them before I put them in. But they ended up staying on our list. So there's that. Part two is we do have the pay your balance here in the chat. So if you're running over, on your balance, please pay it as we're going into the end of the year here. I think that's all I have for treasure and nonsense.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it. We'll go Pat and then Holly. And just note, Pat, we've had some trouble with your audio, so forgive me if it's a bit frustrating.
Just a reminder that there is a Council of Past Presidents meeting immediately following this meeting. And
Was there more, Pat? Go ahead. You're good.
just going to say that if you're not a past president, exiting the meeting would be greatly appreciated. Because we're going to tell great secrets.
So Pat will be on the same, we just stay on?
Correct. Excellent. Thank you. Holly Fath.
I delivered did I tell you this last week? I delivered the Christmas to the family for the Schaumburg Township last week.
I'll hear it again.
This, right? No, nothing. I just wanted to make sure that I did that. Yeah.
We're all very proud too. Yeah. Thank you.
And yeah, so that's all.
Thank you. Seeing, is there anyone else waving at me? And if not, I was going to ask Bill Kelly. Bill, you emailed me about, is Bill even here?
What Don needs to make an announcement too, Don or Nancy.
Don.
Let's see if we can get
Don.
Don.
Get back on.
Yeah, Don. Yeah, Don, we can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, thanks. I'm having trouble with my reception here. Sorry. Just wanted to let you know I talked to HEC this morning on this Adopt a Family update. We're going to. They had two requests. One is that we reached out to them, and Nancy and Eileen did, to find out numbers. They have now 60 families they've identified that they would like the program. There's a club out of Conant that had conducted a coat drive and gloves and hats. And they're going to schedule a drive-by giveaway next week. And they would like to combine what we're doing for their families with that drive-by, which I thought was an excellent idea, to try to draw some of other community, like our high schools into it. So I think that would be a great idea. And I know that we're just a little short on the targeted 8,000 that we wanted. And so I know this is the last day of giving, and I'm hopeful that some other folks might feel generous and wanting to step to the plate and give a few more dollars to support the extra 10 families if we could. That's my update.
And just to remind everybody that if you donate to the Adopt a Family for the HEC, your dollar is being matched by the foundation. So if you give 20, it's like 40. And really every dollar helps. So thank you very much for your generosity. We're hoping we'll reach 8,000. That way we can, now that we've got 60 families, our goal had been like 7,000, but with 60, we're needing a little more if you can help. So
Eileen, how short are we?
I don't know, because Gary would have to tell me the number. It changes every day, so I don't know right now. Do you have that handy, Gary?
Yep. As of 11 a.m., it was 3,470.
Wow. Okay. So Don, and some people really put some added money in there. So 3470.
79.40. But now we need another 500.
If we can get another 500, guys, that'd be awesome. And we've got some in the budget that we're going to add to this too in our discretionary. Terry Park, you'll be glad to know that there is money in the discretionary for 500.
Shirley Clark had a question too.
Is there a link somewhere that I can add money to, or how do I do it?
Yeah, Tom has it on the information that he sent out on Wednesday.
Thank you.
I think it's also, I don't know if it's on the website, but again, folks, thank you. Anything you can do, we really, really appreciate it. Because we were shooting for 50 families. Last year we did $125, Nancy, for almost 30 families. Well, you can see it's doubled this year. And so our efforts really count for so much.
And I was also told the need is just incredible, which everybody knows because of what's going on. But there's a lot of families out here. So as much as we can.
Is there any way we could put that on the chat again? We had it on the chat a couple of weeks ago, I thought. Tom, is it
very, very easily. Tom is the man, and he will take care of that, I'm sure.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that just makes it easy for everybody. Thank you all so much. And Nancy is going to be buying all the gift certificates. Thank you, Nancy. Oops, you're muted.
Thank you.
Guys, I'm sorry. The speaker was having trouble getting on. This is Adopt a Family, right? You need that link?
Yes, it's
Okay.
the one for the HEC POC.
Got it. It's in there.
Okay, I see it. Thank you, Tom. I know Nancy was trying to speak and she was muted. Can you unmute her, Wes?
She is now unmuted.
Okay, I just wanted to say, if we're going to present these cards next week with the coat drive, I need to get there because it's kind of tricky. They will only sell $1,000 at a time. So I'm going to have to go to several stores, and I'm going to call their corporate office this afternoon to see what we can do, because that's crazy.
You know what, Nancy, they would open $1,000 blocks, but you could eat it after each purchase.
That's not what the manager told me today. He said we'd be shut out. Yeah. So he said to try corporate, maybe they could just send me the cards if I give them my credit card. So I'm going to work on it, but the time is of the thing. So we need to know soon how much more we can raise so we know exactly where we are.
And we will close it out. I think we were going to close it out at the end of the day today. Was that the plan?
Or tomorrow, yeah.
Or let's say noon tomorrow. So, but if you want to act, now's a good time to do it. If the chat's there and you're comfortable. But you want to give it till noon tomorrow, and then Gary, I'll get a check request to you tomorrow.
Excellent.
Good.
Thank you, guys. Looking to see if anyone else has something to add or any other club business to talk about. Because if not, it is time
Wes,
for...
did you have a question for me, Wes? Or
Bill, you and I had exchanged an email about a COVID ambassador, and I was wondering if you could just quickly talk about what you saw at the Barrington Club, if that's all right, and if not,
I'd love to. Thank you for that opportunity. So at the club, Dr. Chris Young, I think Chris may have been president of the Barrington Breakfast Club when I was president. One of us, she's a retired family physician. She had agreed and honored a pitch to be the COVID ambassador for their club. The way I understand is the Illinois Department of Public Health is asked for the Rotarians to step up to be COVID-19 ambassadors for encouraging people to get vaccines, to wear masks, to social distance, to do the things that we need to do to keep this pandemic under control. And it was so nice that Chris had stepped up. If that's something that's the one of the essential things is that they have a Facebook account to get the word out. I unfortunately do not. I have abandoned Facebook, so I don't have a Facebook account. But if anybody does have a Facebook account is willing to step up to be an ambassador, I would get you the information.
I saw Gary Anderson had a hand up, and Vince, although I don't know if he has Facebook, also volunteered when we were talking about this in a earlier meeting.
So just a quick update, just in the past 5 minutes, there's already been another 300 and some change donated to Adopt a Family. So I have no doubt that we'll hit the 4,000 that you just mentioned probably by the end of the meeting.
That is awesome. And I'll tell you what, guys, if we go above it, so much the better, because we're looking at 60 families, and that's amazing. So thank you all.
Hey, Wes.
Vince.
So if it requires a Facebook account, I wouldn't be able to be the ambassador. I don't have a Facebook account.
Yep.
So I do not believe it's any significant time constraint. So if anybody's just willing to get some nice posts on their Facebook, that would be, just reach out to me and I'm happy to coordinate. So thank you.
Thank you, Bill. We appreciate it. Anybody else have any other club business to discuss? And if not, we have about 15 to 20 minutes to do two fun things, Queen of Hearts and the Find Master. Tom, if you're ready, I'd love to run the Queen of Hearts right now, if you're ready, sir.
Okay, big Queen of Hearts raffle, man. Sharing video. We're rocking. You guys can see our circle here. Awesome. So we got lots and lots of people here. Look at that. Look at who is getting involved. Everybody's taken into consideration. Steve Lamp is on here twice because he got in late last week, and then he is also one that's going to do it every week automatically. How about it? Woohoo!
Yeah.
Woo! I am going to shuffle it up. Look at that. Now they're all shuffled up. You guys ready?
Ready.
Here's the excitement. Round and round. Where does it go? Where it stops? Nancy Redmond. So
this is fun.
Now we've got to decide what number you want. And this is what we got. I don't know what that is. Can you hear?
So Nancy, you are on mute. I just sent a request for you to unmute yourself.
Look at all these numbers ready to roll. We just need to hear one of these.
If John Selke wants number 8.
Number 8. All right. I got the hammer and chisel over here. Let's see, that's unshare. All right. Gonna X-Acto knife the heck out of this thing. I can't believe how blind I've become over the last years. Look at this. And now we've got, Jesus criminy. Oh, we've got an ace of clubs.
Oh.
The ace of clubs.
Okay.
So that's all you get. Nothing. You get nothing and like it. But keep in mind, right now there's just only one link, not the thousands of links that we've sent you over the last couple of weeks. One link. So if you want to buy for 1 week, you don't have to do anything. Just buy it. If you want to do it weekly, it'll automatically charge you weekly if you click one of the little circles that says weekly. So it's a big money maker. We got lots of money going into this thing. So sign up and buy.
Nice job, Tom. And you know what? I noticed that Jody pointed out that the pinwheel colors are Packers colors, and I'm wondering, Tom, if there's something we can do about that.
Oh.
Thanks for pointing that out, Jody.
There, John.
It means there's a conflict of interest when you win.
The G is for go.
With that, I think it's time for us to have some fun and turn it over to our fun and frolic fine master, Mr. Alan Gabe. Alan, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Sorry I wasn't here last week. If you see, I'm wearing a T-shirt in honor of our past district governor, Julie Clark. This is the T-shirt at her district conference. So if you were wearing the same T-shirt that I am wearing today, you have a pass on all fines. If you are not wearing Rotary attire, that'll be $2. If you were late to today's meeting, that will be $2. If you're not wearing your pin, that will be $2. Mary Jo, I'm glad to see that you're not leaving the club, even though you're leaving Gigi's. However, since you confused the buzz writer last week, I'm going to fine you $2 for picking on poor Rosemary. All the Packer fans out there, congratulations on a great team this year. So if you are a Packer fan, I'm not fining you for this, but if you are a Bears fan or a Lions fan, you should be ashamed of yourself. So that'll be $2 each. Tom Ghosh was at a Schaumburg Business Association meeting the other day wearing a hat that was really great for the season, and he wasn't wearing, too late, Tom. So $2 for not wearing your hat to the meeting today. If you recall, 2 weeks ago, I asked you what you're thankful for, and I'll get to why I wasn't there last week in a minute. But a couple of the best ones were one was from Jim Fabrini, who will pay $2 for this. His comment was he was happy because there were, and this is all in capital letters, no more political ads for 3.5 years. Good for you, Jim. The other one I liked the best was Don Miner, who was talking about me, because he says that he lives with the sexiest, funniest person he's ever known. And I never knew that Don and I lived together. So, Don, that'll be $2. Terry Park, in his own inimitable way, when he saw Samantha, her newlywed today, whose real name is Sadie, married lady, asked her why she wasn't wearing her wedding dress to the club meetings. Well, Terry, you should be ashamed of yourself. So that'll be $2. John Selke, it's good seeing you. If you did not respond to the question last week about why you should be, what you're thankful for, you should be ashamed of yourself, because everybody in this group should be thankful about something. So if you did not respond last week, that will be $3. Again, if you did not reach out to a fellow Rotarian since the last meeting I was at, that's 2 weeks. So it'll be $2 each week. That'll be $4. Do not reach out to another Rotarian for something other than Rotary. Wes, it was nice having a little confab before the meeting today, but you were promoting your business. So you will, it's normally $5 for advertising, but it wasn't technically at a meeting. So I'll only fine you half, $2.50.
Technicality. Got me on the technicality. All right. I like it.
Well, that's what we do. That's what I do for a living. So today's the first day of Hanukkah. Last night was the first evening. If you did not reach out to somebody who is celebrating Hanukkah and wish them a happy Hanukkah, that'll be $2. I want to, if you did not go to Samantha's wedding, that'll be $2. So
I had COVID.
I didn't say, I'm just saying, if you did not go to Samantha's wedding, whether you're invited or not, it's $2. Bill
In
Kelly,
any capacity.
Bill Kelly, are you still here? Bill? Whoever's doing the buzz, be sure Bill knows this. The reason I wasn't,
I'm here.
Bill, the reason I wasn't at the meeting last week was because of your brother Tom being too late at a court appearance. So since I can't find him, I'm going to fine you $2. Lauren Trimble, I don't know.
My brother's.
No, you're not your brother's keeper, but your brother's fine payer. So, Lauren Trimble, I don't know what you were eating, but it sure looked messy, and you had a lot of guts wearing a sport jacket while you were eating whatever it was. That'll be $2. If you see that Gary Anderson and George Panopoulos are on my screen next to each other, and you'll know that their face has the same attire of beard, and they also have offices right next to each other. So I'm not saying anything that maybe they're getting too close to each other or anything of that nature, but I think it's a little coincidental, shall we say, that they look so much alike now. So Gary and George, that'll be $2 each. Glenn Garlick, I understand that you're leaving the club. I don't know where the hell you're going. That was very confusing. But congratulations. Good luck in your new endeavor, whatever that is. But I can't let you go without fining you $2 because, it wouldn't be me. Daryl Moon, are you in Arizona? Where are you? You're in Chicago? Okay. I was going to fine you for wearing a sweater in Arizona, but since you're not in Arizona, I'll fine you for not being in Arizona and coming to Chicago for the winter. So that'll be $2. So
because it rained.
Daryl, this is what. So Daryl, I hate to say this, but you were breaking up, and this is what you sounded like. So pay another $2 for that. And Tom Goach, I have a question. You said that that you can go ahead and pay for the Queen's raffle 1 week at a time, or you could do advance payments. Is that correct?
That's what I said.
Now, for clarification, let's say Nancy would have won today. Would the people who have prepaid get a refund for what they paid?
There are no refunds ever.
Okay, I was going to fine you, but that answer is a good answer, so I'm not going to fine you. And if you have not been fined today, I'd be shocked. Everybody be safe. Have a happy holiday. Please, please, please wear your masks. There was something I saw in the paper the other day that there was almost a fist fight where a community had a meeting wanting to pass an ordinance, everybody wear face masks, and they got physically threatened by those who don't want to wear masks. So please, everybody, wear your mask, have a happy holiday, and be safe and healthy. And Bob Keller thinks I'm nuts, which is normal. Take care.
Thank you, Alan, for that comprehensive
Put
levying of fines.
Alan Gabe. Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you, John.
Alan and Gabe, nice job today, of course, as usual.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you, Alan.
I went to Sam's wedding as a florist. Does that count?
If you were at her wedding, you were at her wedding.
Okay. I'm
Jim,
deducting $2 for that.
Were you here when I told everybody how great you did or no?
I didn't hear that, no. I didn't
Oh,
hear
I
that,
think
but thank
we-
you so much. That was fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's
Really,
great.
really
Thank
good
you.
stuff. Mhm.
Wait, what number did you call to get him, Sam?
885
Put it in the
2000.
chat. Just put it in the chat for us, Jim.
$5 for advertising.
Now the $2 goes back. Okay.
Thank you, guys. And before I ask Bob Fleischer to introduce our tremendous speaker today, I just wanted to show you guys who have not done this yet. When you click on the link that Tom sent to do the Queen of Hearts, you are presented with this screen. You have the ability to pay $5, $10, whatever amount of dollars that you wish in multiples of 5, so you can get those $5 per 6 tickets. And you can either pay once just this week, or you can set to pay that amount weekly. If you choose to pay weekly, enter your information and say pay down here. You're going to get charged that same day every single week for that same amount, and you'll find your name entered into the drawing for those same amount of tickets every single week. It's very, very easy. It's one of the few things that you can know how much you want to spend ahead of time and set it and forget it with Rotary. You never know how much Alan's going to find you. You never know how many happy dollars you want to give. Those are variable. This one's easy. Set it up, get your name in there, get you more chances to win some money. I hope we see a bunch more names in here. And, you know, even when we are meeting again in person, which I'm hoping is going to be soon again, I expect this to stay, the ability to pay this way and have them charged every single week. It's just a lot easier. We found out a great way to do this thanks to Tom's ingenuity. So thank you for that. Click that link either this week or next week when you see it, and set yourself up to pay weekly. With that, I will turn it over to our club service director, Bob Fleischer. Thank you, Bob.
Bob might not be able to hear you. I just got an email that he's having some issues. So with Bob's permission, are you there, Bob? If you can't hear, so I will take over unless Bob says anything. But Sharon, if you can unmute yourself. There
we go.
Cool. I will share the screen. I'll be working through the presentation here. And I will introduce Sharon, who I've known for a bunch of years. I actually think I met her right before she wrote this book and was about to get it published. And then when it did get published, she started going on a tour of all of the different radio stations and things like that. But she looks into the bandstand diaries of all of the bandstand, and so I'm just going to bring her on. And is she there, Sharon? Sharon, are you there?
Yes, I'm just trying to get that little part. I'm looking for my face. Is my face in
You
the
gotta.
face?
Your face isn't on. You've got to turn on your camera if you've got a camera. If you don't, the presentation is up, and we can still hear you very clearly when you talk.
Okay. All right, we're ready?
Go ahead. You're up.
Hi. When I was, I don't know why it's repeating itself. I hear myself double.
Probably because I need to mute myself, which I'm about to do. And
go ahead, Sharon.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I used to see it's going again. I don't know why I hear that. Any idea why it's doing that? I have it on unmute.
We can hear you just fine. It's an audio issue on your end, unfortunately, Sharon. I'm not sure how to help you.
Okay.
Maybe
So I'm gonna
turn your
hear
volume
myself
down.
twice.
Turn your volume down if you can.
Okay.
Does she have her cell phone nearby? Sometimes that'll do it.
Hi there. I used to be a long distance runner when I was a kid. In 1957, when I was 10 years old, I ran home from school to watch American Bandstand on black and white TV. How about you? Do you remember those years? Anyway, I'm delighted to be here. And I thank Tom Ghosh and Robert Fleischer for inviting me to do my first long distance remote presentation. What I wanted to talk about in this short amount of time was why I wrote a book on American Bandstand, which has been off the TV for, it ended in 1964 in Philadelphia and moved to LA. I wrote the book because nobody else had. There were other books on Dick Clark. They had some pictures of the regulars, but nobody had bothered to find the regulars from 50, 60 years ago. And I decided to learn whatever became of them because they were 14 to 18 years old. And then they suddenly disappeared from our TV screens. So I didn't know how to write a book. I didn't know how to find the regulars, but somehow I persevered and met Arlene Sullivan. Anyone remember Arlene Sullivan and Kenny Rossi? Okay, so I met Arlene Sullivan and Kenny Rossi, and Arlene agreed to do the book with me. But she would not promote the book prior to publication because she said to me, why would I write a book with you? You never were on Bandstand. And you were 10 years old, and I don't even know who you are. So I convinced them. I convinced her to see me in Atlantic City. And I said, you know what, I'm going to do this book. And she said she would do it with me, but she wouldn't promote it until she saw it. Anyway, it took us 3 years to write. It was the highlight of my life, even though I was ready to pull my hair out many times. And I learned a lot. And I briefly will tell you some of the things that I learned. First of all, have you seen the cover of the book? We're really proud because it's a nostalgic romp through those years. And it's in full color, a collector's limited edition. And it surprised me when I saw it outside of the computer as a hard copy. Who was Richard Wagstaff Clark? Well, that was Dick Clark. He was 26 years old. And, okay, here's some pictures of the WFIL theater. And the kids used to line up there every day, Monday through Friday, a boys' line and a girls' line. And they would wait to get in, but only 150 kids could get in. And of course, the ones who got in first were those who were the regulars, which meant they were the kids that got fan mail and promised to come to the show at least 3 times a week because they needed that continuity of people. Okay. In the right-hand picture, you see Dick Clark at his podium, which is now at the Smithsonian Museum in Washington. Okay, let's go to the next picture. Okay, this is Arlene Sullivan. When she was young and when we were young. The middle picture shows her with Pop Singers at Pop Singers luncheonette, where all the kids used to hang out. Okay, next picture. Okay, this is Arlene and Kenny. Now they, along with Bob and Justine, were the most popular regulars on the show. Although other people loved Pat Military and Carol Scaldaferri and the Beltrante sisters, the Jimenez sisters. I mean, there were about 40 or 50 really popular regulars during those days. They were inundated with fan mail. Some got as many as 500 letters a day. Kenny Rossi, when it was his birthday, had mentioned that he liked cufflinks. So a couple of days later in the mail to the WABC at that time, he got 150 sets of cufflinks. These kids were America's first reality stars, and the show was America's first reality show. Many years before all the other shows that are, popular today. Dick Clark was known as Dick Clay and Cactus Dick before he became Dick Clark. He was 26. He wasn't much older than the kids on the show. And he was very squeaky clean, shall we say, because when he got to be the host of the show, it was because Bob Horn, who was the previous announcer, was picked up on DWI charges. So they needed someone squeaky clean to host the show. And actually, he looked like an accountant. When he walked into the studio, he was a slight man, and he carried a briefcase. And he didn't have much to do with the kids, which is interesting. He kept his distance, but he did see some of the kids when they were older. Okay, let's see the next picture. Okay, besides Arlene and Kenny, there's Bob and Justine. I've met Justine several times now. I thought she was gorgeous when growing up. She always looked like a sophisticated model, but she was a dancer, a singer later on, and she had this wonderful romance with Bob Clayton. When I finally got to interview Bob, the only reason that he answered the phone was because I told him I had a crush on him when I was 10 years old. And so he always answered his phone, and he used to screen his calls like many of the other regulars. Because don't forget, over the 50 or so years, 60 years, they have been followed around by anyone who could find them. So Dick Clark started in 1957 when the show went national. And ABC at the time did not have any advertisers because no one really believed in the show. They didn't even believe in it, the people up top at the station. But pretty soon, 20 million viewers watched, young adults and teenagers and preteens, and it became an overnight success. So here's a couple of pictures of Arlene, and she was always with movie stars and singers. Paul Anka, who is that? Danny and the Juniors, Annette Funicello, who some people thought they were twins, and Frankie Avalon. She still keeps in touch with all these people to this day. Okay, next picture, please. Okay, look at these kids. This is at one of their parties with Freddie Cannon in the middle. He was on the show more than any other singer or actor, I think about 110 times. But if you look at this picture and you see these kids, they were really little kids or teenagers. And it's amazing because now we realize how old we all are. Let's see the next picture. Okay, here is Arlene and Kenny then, and here is Arlene and Kenny a few years ago. They still remain friends to this day. And as a matter of fact, I'll let you in on a little secret. I signed a movie deal with two guys in Hollywood, and hopefully, when they get the funding and when we get over the pandemic, we'll have a movie out based on Bandstand Diaries. So that's kind of cool. Okay, as we show the next slide, let's show the next slide. Okay. Okay, here's Dick Clark with Arlene at one of their parties after the show, was off for a while. He was America's oldest teenager, And he said, I don't make culture, I sell it. He had a lot of witty comments that he said. He said music is the soundtrack of our lives. And he was very much loved until he passed away in 2002. Okay, next. Okay. Here's Bob and Justine. The first one naturally is when they were young. And the second one was at one of their parties. I guess they were probably in their 60s then. Bob did pass away about a week after the book came out. He never saw the book. He had been ailing, but he concealed it. And I'm going to be speaking to his widow about him soon and do an interview for our website, which is bandstanddiaries.com. Okay, I'm just going to tell you a few of the, here are the three authors. I'm the one on the right. It was a bad hair day, but will excuse me, at least I have here. And I just, as was showing this is right before our book launch. And Arlene invited this gentleman, Ray Smith, to do the book with us. It so happened he was working on another book, Ray Smith, and he interviewed Arlene. What are the odds of somebody interviewing you and then finding out that you went to the same high school and were in the same homeroom together, because it was Smith and Sullivan, and had never met each other 40 years before. So they're great friends now. And this was, we did a couple of TV shows right before our book launch in 2016. I just wanted to tell you a couple of the rules that Dick Clark had for the show. The dress codes. The boys had to wear coats and ties. The girls had to wear dresses or skirts, no pants. The girls could dance with other girls, but boys could not dance with boys. Preferably they danced, boy, girl. Many girls came to the show from their Catholic high schools. So they had little collars that showed out of their outfits. And people started to study their fashions, and they started to go to stores all over the country and ask for the collars that the regulars on American Bandstand wore. And they had to be explained that those were the uniforms from the Catholic high schools. Okay, another thing was they could not become professionals, the regulars, who were only 14 to 18. Dick Clark would not let them become professionals because that meant that he had to pay them scale as professionals. So a number of them got scooted out of the show because people like Pat Military wrote a column for 16 magazine. Justine and Bob cut a record. Some people got paid to speak at sock hops. And Dick Clark would unceremoniously throw them out of the show. So he was not that loyal to a lot of them. Also, he said no hogging of the cameras. If you notice that a lot of the regulars were always in front of the screen. And that's because they didn't let anyone get onto the screen besides them. So Dick Clark would call out over a microphone that nobody else could see or hear and say, Arlene, get to the back, Bob, get to the back and stuff like that. So they were camera hogs. And the studio itself was very small. What surprised me and what I learned from speaking to over 40 of the regulars was that their parents at that time in the late 50s, early 60s, trusted them to go to the show from school. They took buses, subways, or walked, and the parents trusted them, and things were a lot safer at that time. I doubt very much if parents today would let their kids, go to a TV show I can't say the word, without an escort. The rationale of the parents was that at least they knew where their teenage kids were after school because they could just turn on the TV and see them. Arlene went on the show because her mother loved the show and she couldn't get her mother's attention. And her mother, watched her on the show, but she never really acknowledged anything. Sadly, many of the regulars were bullied in Philadelphia only. They were loved around the country, but in Philadelphia, the guys got called, names and called bad stuff. And every place else in the country, kids wrote to them, kids invited them to come to their houses and stuff like that. I'll tell you a brief huge story. Arlene DePietro, who was very, very popular, came home one day from school and she found a teenage boy, sitting with her mother in the kitchen. And her mother told her that so-and-so showed up from another state and that he wanted to stay for a week in their house and help Arlene with her house cleaning after school and go shopping for clothes with her and just be there to be her friend, which sounds very odd, but she and her mother entrusted this stranger to stay there, and he turned out to be very cool and nice, but again, something we wouldn't do today. Okay, many of the kids lied about their ages. They said that they were 14, that they said that they were 14, and in fact they were 13. Justine Corelli showed up one day as 13, and they booted her from the show. So the next day she came with her sister's license, which said 14, and she got in. Let's see now. How much more time do I have? Tom, how much more time do I have?
You got about 5 more minutes, and if you wanted some questions, maybe a little bit less.
Right. Before we go to the questions and answers, I just wanted to invite you, if any of you want the book before the holidays, if you order it today or tomorrow at bandstanddiaries.com, I will personally, get your books out so you'll have it in time for the holidays. I also am looking to go speaking around the country now that I'm in Illinois with you guys. And so I can speak any place in the country remotely. So if you know of anything, my email is bandstanddiaries@gmail.com. And let's see what else. There's so much in the book. It is a delightful book. It has 5 stars on Amazon. It might be a movie, which we hope. And I just can give you a very little introduction to the book and all the stories. Nostalgia really helps at times like we're living through today. And this is the definite nostalgic book of a lifetime. Okay, I'll take any questions and answers now. Okay.
Hold on a second. So
thank you, Sharon. That was wonderful.
And I know that Terry Park's wife was very interested. Did she have any questions? I can't find them.
Who?
Terry Park's wife had some.
Terry's shaking us off.
Okay, sorry. Oh, there he is. Sorry. Anyone have any questions? I did put all of Sharon's information in the chat with her email. The website itself is where you could get the book a lot quicker than going through Amazon. And if you have any connections for her, that would be wonderful too.
Right. I also want to mention that we all thought American Bandstand was a frivolous little show that we learned how to dance from, that we had, we learned fashions from, and we learned who the romances and gossip were. But actually, American Bandstand legitimized and introduced rock and roll to America. Because before Dick Clark, brought on the rock and roll singers, people thought of rock and roll as the devil's music. Also, American Bandstand was the first show to introduce teenagers as a separate age group. Always before then, teenagers were thought of as children, so it broke away. And then the most important thing is that you actually were watching America's first reality stars, and they were on the first reality program. So it had a lot of cultural impact on us. And those of us who were old enough to jitterbug with our banisters and our refrigerator doors at home have a lot of happy, nostalgic memories. So I hope you look at the website, and you can always write me a question or something. And I'm delighted to be here with you. And I thank Tom and Robert for inviting me.
Thank you again, Sharon. We really appreciate
Thank you,
it. I know that my mom was a huge Paul Anka fan. So you got me remembering my mom today with that old picture of Paul Anka. All right. Thanks again, Sharon. Back to you, Wes, for the ending of our meeting.
Thank you, Sharon. That was really wonderful. We appreciate you taking your time with us and sharing a great story with us. So
thank you very
so
much. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you, and you're welcome back at this club anytime, please.
Okay.
All right. I am going to ask everyone to, well, you don't have to rise. You don't have to rise, but we do have to do our four-way test. And since Jim's laughing at me now, I'm going to ask Jim to go ahead and lead us, please, Jim, in the four-way test of the things.
I'll be happy to, Wes. I'll be happy to. The way we start this, I'm just going to say the way forward first, and you're going to follow in. So first, is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned? Will build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, Jim. And everybody, please, this week, just remember, let's let everyone through our actions know that Rotary opens opportunities. Thank you, everyone. For the past president's meeting, please stay on if you're a president.
We have a board meeting next week, right, too?
That is correct. Everyone's going to be a board meeting before our meeting next week at 10:30. I hope to see all board members and friends there.
Hey, Jim Fabrini, real quick question.
Shoot.
Would you still be interested in baby spider plants?
Did we talk about that before?
I gave you some a couple of years ago, and I have a whole bunch again.
Yeah, bring them. Are they propagated, or are they actually? Are they? I think one of the girls took them home with them, and she's still working with them. So yeah, absolutely, bring it in.
Okay, great. I will
Thank you.
grab them and bring them to you. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Pat, am I a part of this meeting or no? Oh, you're still muted, Pat.
Oh, Tom. Sorry, I thought that was Wes. You're breaking up, Pat. We can't hear you.
Okay. Okay. So I take it I'm telling you who I want, where, and how. All right, here I go. Probably just easier to do this.
Give us the depth chart, right?
Yeah. So obviously I will be the president On track to become the next president as treasurer is Brian Berg. And Rachel from NSWA has agreed to become the secretary. Am I being interrupted? Okay. Rachel, in discussions with her, she knows that she hasn't been on the Zooms. Those are very difficult for her to do, but she wants to be part of this club and active. She likes the idea of the 3-year process to become president, to get to know everything along the way. I promised her that I would help her any way that I possibly can. So Rachel, Sarah, many of these wanted to stay on board because we had kind of a strange year. They wanted to stay on board to do the things that they wanted to do in the beginning and couldn't. So Sarah Billmeyer is one of them. Nancy Redmond also. For international service, Mary Jo Shepard. And for club service, Bob Fleischer wants to stay on and do it that way. So those are the people staying on with no change. For membership, I wanted to find somebody that is fairly well networked outside of Rotary and be able to invite people as well as follow up with people afterwards. As I mentioned in the meeting, there is a place to put visitors and their contact information into Club Runner and actually follow up with them. Julie Clark is shaking her head vigorously. We are not using Club Runner enough. I was about to go set up a Google account to have a calendar and documents and things like that. And lo and behold, it's there and ready for you. And we're not using it enough. So Mary Sproul will be happy to learn some of that stuff as well as follow up with people. Public image, Holly's done an amazing job. Pat will continue that. And she will also take over much of the social media stuff after being trained by an amazing person, me. Holly has would like to wrap her head around youth service and vocational. And she has some great ideas there as well. And then the classic. What I was looking for here is a newish member as well as a Debbie's looking at me like, don't say old.
Seasoned.
No, a seasoned member. And so Sam is going to be the lead on it. In a long conversation with her, she does recognize she hasn't been to the meeting much. A lot of it has to do with the kids that she saw crawling around her on the thing today, having to homeschool them basically. And Debbie has agreed to help out there. I think with what's happened last year with the Classic, what's happening this year with the Classic, I think next year will just be a really neat combination of the two, meaning, virtual and in person, so that we have the Classic to be the Classic as well as, bringing in some newer ideas even a year and a half from now. There's one person not listed on here. That is the Rotary Foundation, and that is Jim McCullough. Jim has agreed to stay on, and Mike Olak is agreed to sort of learn what Jim McCullough does and take that over time.
Yeah.
They're not accepting packages.
Jim, you're not muted, and you're having a conversation over there.
Address, or should we wait?
Perfect. So that, I understand, is the official board on my end, and I guess it's discussion or something now.
Hey, Tom, I know you have Brian Berg as treasurer. Isn't he the president? Wouldn't he be the president-elect?
Those are two roles that are the same. President-elect and treasurer are the same role. So yes, he is president-elect.
I just think I would put him above secretary in your pecking order.
I understand that. That was I didn't realize I was going to be throwing it up there, and I was really more concerned about the secretary, who's the next president. So that ended up being on my working notes list here. So you got to see my working notes, and that's about all.
Has a question.
As is that Haig. I just think that you made a great choice. I think there's some young blood, which is really good, and I'm looking forward to next year. And I hope that you can do half as good as job as Wes has done this year.
Yeah, Wes has actually made it very, very difficult, and nobody wanted the presidency because Wes did such a good job. But luckily, luckily we found somebody that's willing to take that challenge.
Y'all are very kind.
Looks like Ed Haig.
Yeah. Your candidate, obviously, for secretary who would move up into presidency from NWSRA, having sat on that board for 25 years, and more recently, a number of years ago, there were some issues with our representation there being linked to basically donations or what's in it for them. And that's putting it hard, but that's kind of where it came from. I don't know if the chief executive officer is okay with that now. Because I don't think as president that would make any guarantees of financial aid, project selection, help or anything like that. But that was an issue a few years ago. And some of us remember it, some of us don't. But I would hope that their chief exec now is in tune with that. Did you have any of those conversations, Tom? I mean, you're new. You would not remember what happened, what transpired about 5 or 6 years ago.
I think I sort of know what you're talking about because I had actually approached Nanette about a couple of different board positions, and she had talked about that. My understanding is that the NWSRA executive director wants everybody to get involved with their clubs that they're in. So Rachel has gotten the A-OK to get involved, become president, and I don't think there'll be any type of conflict except when she becomes a past president and has to decide on any of those projects.
I make a motion to accept the slate as presented.
Second that motion. Yeah, I'll second the motion, but I do have a question.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Tom, looks like great slate, great new blood. Refresh me. Tell me about Rachel's involvement in the club so far. Has she taken any kind of what she's been involved in so far?
She was. She's been working in the community service. I believe on the action squad. I don't know why I can't say that without pausing, but she's been working with the action squad, and she's worked with Eileen on a number of different things, more behind the scenes, as she says.
But you got a good impression. Okay, good. So she recognizes what kind of time commitment that it is to go, over the next 3 years.
Yeah, I think so. It took a long time to talk with her about this stuff. Yes.
Yep. Good. Great selections, Tom. I love your team.
I believe there was a motion, Pat. It doesn't. We can't hear you, Barry.
I'm seconding the motion.
Pat might be just a little off. Pat might just be a little off. The question Is anybody objecting to the slate? Is my interpretation of the chipmunk? Pat, you're saying something and it's coming out super fast, and you sound like Alvin, Simon, and Theodore all at the same time. Looks like no. Sounds great. Oh, I like that it's a Santa thumbs up. Thank you, Julie. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Yeah, the audio issues, guys. I'm really sorry for them. I don't know what's going on. I think you can agree these last 2 weeks have been significantly worse than any time in the past. I don't know to what to ascribe it to because nothing has changed on any of our sides. So I'm pretty frustrated about it. I don't really know what to do. So I apologize.
Wes, some people come in very, very clear. So do you think it's an overall problem or just a individual problem?
A little bit of both. I think it's a little bit of both.
Pat, is this your only next one? Because you're the only one that I really had a hard time hearing. I don't know whether you could hear.
This is my own. Well,
Pat, just a question for you. Did you take attendance for all of us that are on for this meeting?
You know, I
because this is a makeup.
Someone is as concerned as I am about perfect attendance.
Well, I just was secretary on the foundation board meeting, so I know all about attendance.
Can I just make a note to you guys? I have just a thought. So I had problems. I have AT&T as my provider, and the upload is really bad. Can you guys hear me? Okay, everyone hear me? Okay, good. Recently I went from being wireless, which I'm guessing some of you are. I was on my iPad, and I just used an Ethernet cable now, and now I'm connected. And I think my connection is significantly better than it has been in the past. I know Wesley would probably say that, and I can just say to you that if you get a wired connection rather than a wireless connection, and I'm guessing, Pat, that you're wireless, and if you get wired, you might see a different connection problem. I know this to be true because I did this with my bookkeeper who's working off site now, and she's all of a sudden, everything's clicking for her. So think about it.
Get wired.
Thank you, guys. Anyone have anything else to say? Otherwise not.
Wes?
Okay. Oh, sorry, Julie, go ahead.
So is there an opportunity, and maybe we don't want to do this, but is there an opportunity for us to put our foundation board members on our website? They're not anywhere listed, and maybe nobody cares if they're on there. I don't know.
I think that's a great idea. I think it is. Anytime you're on a board, I think it's a good idea to have the recognition. So
I might not know how to do that in a good way because Club Runner allows you to very easily enter the positions of those club board members, and then it displays them not automatically, but there's a built-in function that shows them. I wouldn't know how to turn that on for foundation board members as well. Pat.
Or just do a separate page altogether. If you had a little foundation tab on top, that maybe it would take it to another page and those members could be listed there.
There's a way to get them up if it's decided.
I have a fundraising hat on. So I'm just thinking of our upcoming classic and some of the questions that I've been getting, and how do I get a hold of a foundation person when I want to make a donation? And, you know, I was like,
It's something that I'll ask Brian Berg to help us set up, our secretary.
thank you.
Wes, I just wanted to clarify whether I'm coming.
I know.
It's your audio is not coming in very clear, Daryl. I could generally hear your question, but much like with Pat, it's as though it doesn't record the audio for a second and then plays it all really fast all at once.
So if I talk slower, does that work?
It actually did in this instance.
No,
yes.
then you just sound like you're getting really old.
What do you mean getting?
Shoe fits.
Thank you guys. I gotta go.
Gotta go.
Mike Erickson, speedy recovery, buddy. Take care of yourself.
Take care, Mike.
Happy Hanukkah to all our Jewish members.
All right, take care, everybody. See you next week.
Take care, Vince. Bye-bye, Jody.